This is kind of funny because, this is where, smart work versus hard work. We uploaded a video every single day, and that took me around 3 to 4 hours to edit. So I remember sometimes waking up on my laptop somewhere in Thailand with the laptop on, I'm thinking, I've still got to edit this fucking video out, and just consistently doing it, right? And this is why I think sometimes hard work isn't the best option. At the end of the day, it's all about working smarter to get what you want.
Exactly. So like one of the things that both of our mentors, Iman Ghazi, one of the things that he mentioned to me when I was at his Meridian Mastermind last year, so around September of 2018, because I asked him this, was I have a bit of older videos on my YouTube channel. It's not necessarily stuff that I really want to promote like now. I did a podcast project after I quit from my corporate media job in Canada. I did a podcast project where I was working literally between like 8 to 16 hours per day trying to do video, script writing, production, editing, do all this sort of stuff with this podcast project, and like find music from local artists and all this sort of stuff. That was taking me 8 to 16 hours a day. And what did it translate into? Well, fucking jack shit. That's what it translated into. So I was working super, super hard on this, and I loved what I was doing. I was putting my computer fucking hated me. It was putting me on the brink and wanting to shut down on me. My $500 Acer laptop, still probably the best laptop I've ever had, for what it does, for what like the price point and stuff. But like at the same time, it's one of those things where you are working so hard for something, but you're not reaping any of the benefits from it. And the main lessons that I got, and which I think you can also attest to, John, the main lessons that you got from working all those hours trying to do like editing and upload a video per day and stuff, the main lesson that you learned was like, oh fuck, like this is not what I want to do. This is also one of the things like, oh fuck, this is actually super hard work. So now you actually went in and pulled the trigger and actually like dove headfirst into it and tried it out to see if it was for you. Then you're like, maybe I need to do something a bit different. And you can only learn those lessons if you actually did that in the first place. Of course, man. So yeah, that was one of the things that stuck out, and why our stories are very, very familiar as well, about like wanting to kind of like get big in our own way without a personal brand, without like any like background from anyone, just kind of starting from scratch. It's so hard to start from scratch without like an audience or anything and trying to sell a personal brand, because you haven't delivered value yet to anyone. So you have to kind of deliver value in the first place, and then maybe people will follow you on with a personal brand later on. Because that's one of the things with podcasts, especially because that was a video podcast project that I was working on, was that I didn't even have a personal brand or anyone to really listen to. While the majority of people who start podcasts that are successful, between 90 to 95% of them, like they all had a personal brand previously. Like people followed them onto the podcast. They didn't just listen to them because it was a podcast. They listened to you because they knew who you were before.
Of course, yeah, exactly, man. Yeah. But I think it's interesting as well, Evan, when you start off and any idea you have, right, you always need to define why you're doing it. I think this is such a key thing people don't realize, even if it's making money, making money, doing a passion project, like get clear from the beginning where you want to end up, because then you can make the right decisions from now on how you're going to get there. I think it's kind of simple. It's like if you wanted to go, let's say I live in London, if I want to go to central London, if I don't get clear on where I want to end up on my journey, I could end up anywhere, right? But if I say I'm going to go to Big Ben today at this time, chances are I'm going to end up there. And I think get clear on that from the beginning and then reverse it. So if I was to go back when I was working my ass off doing YouTube videos, my main goal for doing that was to make online money. Now, if I had taken a step back and thought, all right, what's the easiest, simplest way I can make money? There would have been a lot more simpler ways. I would have succeeded quicker, had a lot more of an easier life, and been able to enjoy myself more. So I think get clear on your vision before you begin your journey.
100%. One of my favorite metaphors is that the majority of people are traveling through life as if they're going to the airport. They may have packed their bags to go somewhere, but they don't know where they're going. So they end up going to the airport, and then out of nowhere, they end up going to the middle buttfuck nowhere, Africa. And they brought stuff to go to Europe or like Northern.
That's Europe. That's it, man.
Yeah, that's what most people pack their bags and get ready to go somewhere. And then once they have to make that decision, they're like, oh, I don't have the ticket. And then they end up somewhere fucking random because they didn't prepare themselves.
Exactly. That you defined it so well.